Hey YouTube, in this video we are going to talk about how to build an event system in Miliastra Wonderland. Event systems are a powerful way to let different parts of your game communicate without needing direct references to each other. Instead of one entity directly changing something on another entity, we broadcast an event using signals, and any node graph that is interested can monitor that event and react to it. This approach keeps your node graphs cleaner, easier to read, and much more modular. First, let's talk about what an event system actually is. In game development, an event is basically a notification that tells us when something happened in the game. For example, when a player picks up an item, when a level starts, when an enemy dies, or when a level is completed. These are all events that other systems in the game might want to react to. And for example, in my game Bubble Bash, when you open a stage, the game doesn't start immediately. Instead, the round begins when the player shoots a balloon. Once that balloon is shot, a lot of things need to happen. A timer appears showing how much time is left for this round. Bubbles begin spawning. Balloons that give buffs can appear. The player gets locked inside the playable area. The music changes and several other gameplay systems activate. Now, I could handle all of this inside one node graph by reacting to the projectile hitting the balloon and then triggering everything from there. But that would mean referencing every system directly, the timer, the music, the spawner, and so on. And over time, that node graph would become very large and difficult to maintain. And since Miliastra Wonderland also has a node execution limit per node graph, that's something we want to avoid. So we can use signals instead, and that's a much cleaner approach. When the balloon is shot, we simply send a signal. In my game, this is called the start game signal, and then multiple entities in the scene can monitor that signal and react independently. For example, I have a music manager that listens for the signals and changes the music, a target spawner that has a timer and then spawns bubbles in an interval, and the same happens for a loot balloon spawner that begins spawning power-ups and other things. And then I have the node graph called character in game area, and this will check whether the player is actually inside the arena when the game starts. This way each system handles its own logic and its own node graph, and the big advantage here is that everything stays separate and organized. If I remove the music manager from the stage, nothing breaks because nothing directly references it. And if I want two bubble spawners instead of one, I can simply add another entity that listens to the same signal and no extra wiring is required. So how do we actually do this? To create a signal, open any node graph and click this Server Signal Explorer icon. This opens a window where you can create a new signal, give it a unique name, and optionally add some parameters. These can be useful if you want to include extra information, such as who sent the signal, a location in the world, or any other data that might be useful. Once the signal is created, you can send it using the Send Signal node, and your newly created signal will appear in the Nodes option. To respond to it, you just have to use the Monitor Signal event node, and every time Send Signal is executed, all node graphs that are monitoring that exact signal will now run their logic. If we go back to the Bubble Bash example, when the player now shoots the balloon, the Send Signal node triggers the Start Game signal. All the different systems listening for this signal then activate. Character in-game area checks if the player is inside the arena, and if not, it spawns a teleporter to bring them back. The music manager switches to background music, and both spawner entities begin spawning bubbles and other gameplay elements at specific intervals. So each system reacts independently, but they all start at the same time because they are listening to the same event. So to wrap things up, event systems are extremely useful, especially in medium or larger projects, but even smaller games can benefit from them if you want to keep things organized. And hopefully this gives you a clear idea of how signals can be used to build an event system in Miliastra Wonderland. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. I always enjoy reading them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.